We will not serve your gods, nor worship the image of gold which you have set up.
Have you ever felt like everyone around you was doing something wrong, and you were the only one who wanted to do what's right? Have you ever been afraid to stand up for what you believe in, because you might be laughed at, left out, or even hurt? Maybe you faced a moment when following God felt scary, when the pressure to give in was so strong that your heart pounded and your hands shook. Today, we're going to discover an incredible true story about three young men who faced the most terrifying test of their lives, a test that would show the whole world what it means to choose faith over fear. Our story takes us back thousands of years ago to the magnificent golden city of Babylon, one of the most powerful kingdoms the world had ever seen. This empire was ruled by King Nebuchadnezzar, a proud and mighty king who commanded armies, conquered nations, and demanded absolute obedience from everyone in his kingdom. The king's word was law, and no one, absolutely no one, dared to disobey him. One day, King Nebuchadnezzar had a magnificent golden statue built, a towering image that gleamed in the blazing sun, standing 90 feet tall and 9 feet wide. It was so massive that people could see it from miles away, sparkling and shining like a monument to the king's own greatness. The king sent out a decree to every corner of his empire. When you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, and every kind of music, you must fall down and worship the golden image. Anyone at all who refuses to bow down will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace of fire.
Whoa.
Can you imagine the fear that gripped the hearts of the people? A furnace so hot, so deadly that no one could survive it. When the music played, thousands upon thousands of people dropped to their knees, bowing before the golden statue, their faces pressed to the ground in terror and obedience. But in that enormous crowd, three young men remained standing. Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, faithful servants of the one true God. These three friends had been taken from their homeland of Israel years before and brought to Babylon as captives. But even in a foreign land, even surrounded by people who didn't know their God, they had never forgotten who they belonged to. They loved God with all their hearts, and they knew that God's law was clear. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not bow down to idols. So while everyone else bowed, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood tall, their faith stronger than their fear.
To the fiery furnace
It didn't take long for some jealous officials to notice. They ran to King Nebuchadnezzar, pointing their fingers and shouting accusations. "O king, there are three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who refuse to bow down to your golden image. They have no respect for your command." The king was furious. His face turned red with rage, and he ordered the three young men to be brought before him immediately. Standing before the most powerful man in the world, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego must have felt their hearts racing, but they did not tremble, they did not back down.
If you do not worship
King Nebuchadnezzar glared at them and said, "Is it true that you refuse to worship my golden image? I'll give you one more chance. When the music plays, bow down and worship, or you will be thrown into the blazing furnace of fire. And then what God will be able to rescue you from my hands?" This was it, the moment of truth. The three friends looked at each other, and then, with courage burning in their hearts, they answered the king with words that would echo through history. "O king, We do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, O king, that we will never serve your gods or worship the golden image you have set up. We will never bow." The king exploded with anger. He commanded his soldiers to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than usual, so hot that the flames roared like a hungry beast. He ordered his strongest soldiers to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the fire. The furnace was so incredibly hot that the soldiers who threw them in were killed instantly by the heat. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the flames, bound and helpless. But then something absolutely miraculous happened. The king leaped to his feet in amazement and shouted to his advisors, "Didn't we throw 3 men bound into the fire? Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." God had sent his angel, a divine protector, to walk with them in the flames. The fire that should have destroyed them couldn't even singe their hair or burn their clothes. They walked freely in the furnace, protected by the presence of God himself. The king rushed to the opening of the furnace and called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out!" The 3 friends walked out of the flames, completely unharmed. Everyone gathered around them in astonishment. There was no smell of smoke on them, not a single burn, not even a hair on their heads was singed. The king declared, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He has sent his angel and rescued his servants who trusted in him. No other God can save like this." The king promoted the 3 friends and made a new law protecting anyone who worshiped the one true God. So, what can we learn from this amazing story? When the whole world pressures you to compromise, when fear whispers that standing for God is too dangerous, remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They chose faith over fear, and God met them in the fire. Whatever furnace you face today, whether it's loneliness, fear, or pressure to give in, know this: God is with you in every fire. Choose faith, stand strong, and watch him work miracles in your life.